friends, it's Carly and I'm back again with another Marvel Legends review in the Crimson Dynamo line, and I wasn't sure how I wanted to go about these. I knew I wanted to do one every other day, but I wasn't necessarily sure which order, so I decided to start just with the Build-A-Fig pieces from top to bottom. So the first piece is the head. We can take a quick look at that. Here it is. It's good looking. I'm really excited about this Build-A-Fig. And the figure that goes with it is one of my absolute favorite. I'm so excited to finally have one in my collection, Winter Soldier. So this is one of the best looking, I'm gonna say right off the bat before I get into specifics, one of the best looking Marvel Legends figures that I have, period. And I'm gonna tell you all of the specific things. We'll get into all of the details, but the main thing that stands out for me on this figure that I am just actually blown away by is the paintwork. And we're gonna try to get as good a look as we can at the paintwork on this figure. We're gonna go through all of the details that I love about it. We'll talk about his accessories and a little bit of a call out, quite frankly, to Hasbro. Actually, let's just start with that. So when I opened this figure and I started to look at it, the first thing that caught my eye and stood out immediately was the paintwork on the face. And we're gonna get focus here so that we can take a really good look at the detail and the depth of detail in the face here. So what stands out to me most of all is the eyes. And the closer that you get, the more detail that you see, with a lash line, pupil, a point of light, color in the iris that are uniform in both eyes and perfect without any sort of running over of the indentations of where the eyes go in the sculpt. There is literally nothing outside of the lines as far as this paintwork goes on the mask. And I know that that is a small thing because these things are mass produced, so things like that happen. There's one-offs when they're printed and created. But to see one that is so flawless really lets you know the amount of work and effort that was put into a particular figure when you see that it has no flaws whatsoever. And the paintwork and the sculpt on the face and hair of this figure are completely flawless. I'm absolutely obsessed with them. The paintwork goes on, it's pretty standard throughout. I really love the way that the colors are used. Again, this is sort of like a vintage blue to me. I guess I would say it's like a military sort of vintage thing, but I like the choice of colors and the depth that they've given the body with the sculpt as far as the pants and the chest armor go. His prosthetic is perfect. This is, well, I'm not really sure if this is the vibranium one. I don't think that it is, but the prosthetic looks great. It's got sort of a vintagey silver vibe to it. And again, the paintwork on the star is absolutely perfect. There's nothing out of place with the paintwork on this, from even the detail on the utility belt. Here, you can see that everything is perfectly done, which I appreciate so much. The gloves on his hands, which we can see here, the paintwork is perfect, even to the fingerless portions. So my call out to Hasbro is that it was so good that I wanted to be able to shout out to some of the artists who had a part in this. And I understand that Hasbro is a collective and that's not necessarily how things work, but I don't think that we could be talking when it comes to the design of this figure and the design of the paintwork on it and the actual physical labor and creativity that went into making this figure. I don't think we could be talking about 300 people. And even if we were talking about 50 people, it literally takes no space, time, or effort to add a tab to the figure on the Hasbro Pulse website and list those names, because these people definitely deserve their credit and their recognition, especially when a figure comes out as good as this one has. So I would love to see Hasbro add artist credits and creative credits to each of the figures, because these people are out there on social media creating. These are people that you would probably want to be aware of other work that they're doing if they have other projects, or when projects are coming up. If I knew the artist that painted this figure had another coming up in the Marvel Legends line, I would definitely know that that was one I needed to pre-order. So that's just kind of a rant, but I can't really say enough about the paintwork on this figure. Now looking at the body of it, I recently did a review of Marvel and Leader, and both of those felt really cobbled together to me. They didn't feel, these are adult male characters who are superheroes, and their bodies didn't feel right. They didn't feel mature. They didn't feel like men's athletic soldier type bodies. This body is perfect. It's lean, muscular. He's clearly strong looking, but everything fits together. So all of the issues, again, you know, whether it's using parts from other figures to create new ones, if that's what was happening with the two figures I was just talking about, like if they're not, I mean, which is understandable, but whatever the issues were with those, they don't exist here. And these two lines are coming back to back, I think, pretty much. I'm still waiting on pre-orders for the Abomination series, and so to see cobbled together figures in that line, and then to see something so perfectly rendered on this figure, it's just a little bit maddening, but I'm so happy with the way this looks. Everything about his body mass, his lean muscle, it makes sense for a soldier. It makes sense for an adult male figure. So I love that. The accessories that come with this figure that are detachable are he does have some sort of assault rifle. It's a scoped assault rifle, but it's not a sniper rifle, so that was a little bit strange, but it's a good looking weapon, and it's, you know, as good as these accessories tend to be. And the pistol is actually really sturdy. I really like that. So a nice little pistol. Those are the two weapons that he comes with. His utility belt right here is detachable with just like a ball joint sort of there, which is nice because the chest harness is not detachable, and once again it does sort of affect our points of articulation in the chest, which is pretty important for posing in particular poses, getting that center of gravity that you need. This figure is weighted really well, so I don't think that's going to be an issue, but it is a little bit bothersome to have an accessory that hinders the range of motion of the points of articulation. When those points are rendered so well, it seems silly to put something on the figure that would hinder that. Additionally, the head goes forward and back. When I talked about Taskmaster, he's wearing a cowl that prevented us from getting that motion. We get obviously right and left here. With Bucky is no problem. But we do, forward is no problem, but we do get a little bit of hindrance here with the hair. Not nearly to the level that we did with Taskmaster, but still, so we can get a little bit of a chin up if that's a pose that you're interested in doing. Even though as Winter Soldier, he's not really a hero, so maybe we don't need chin up there, but it's not, that really doesn't bother me so much. They've got to have hair. They can't probably have actual hair. You wouldn't want that. So I get why they do hair this way, and as long as we get a little bit of motion, that's okay. I counted about, there is also a, like a garter leg mount thing. So the accessories that come in the utility belt, and it's mostly just magazines, but I was a little bit bothered that the utility belt comes with a pistol that you cannot take out of the holster, which is annoying, and a knife, which you can't take out, and I think that's annoying, but these are minor complaints, you guys. This figure is absolutely stunning. It looks so good. I counted about 21 points of articulation, so that's what we're used to seeing. I tested everything out. It's smooth, it's easy to find balance with this figure, to make him stand or pose however you want to. He's got that great motion. This is so important to me because I put my characters in funny poses, and having that center of gravity that you can really adjust is so important to me. So having that work really well is important. We've got the normal twisting in the waist, the thighs here. We've got the double jointed knees that go all the way to where they are supposed to, which is fantastic and with ease. I appreciated that they didn't do that weird thing where the boot turns mid-calf, because nobody's body turns that way. So we just have a normal sort of ankle. It does not go 360 around, it's up and down, but it makes more sense. It's more of a realistic joint. So with all of that said, this is a fine figure. He's outstanding, and he's staying right in line with all of the things that I like about Taskmaster. Despite that design, that is an excellent figure. This one, the design and everything about it are absolutely perfect. I cannot wait to put it on my shelf. It's so good looking. I'll probably swap out some of the weapon accessories, and like I said, I'm a little bit miffed that the weapons in the utility belt don't come out, but you can only hold so many weapons anyway. I also would have liked to see a strap for his rifle so that he could put that on his back. That's something easy for anybody to manufacture for themselves, so it's not a huge complaint, but it's just that little extra thought that they could have put into the character that would make it a little bit more user-friendly, I guess we could say. So from start to finish, though, I have to say that Winter Soldier is an incredible figure. Anyone would be lucky to have it in their collection. It is sold out right now, so I definitely would recommend that you keep your eyes on the Hasbro Pulse website if you have not picked this up yet, because you will want to have him, and I'm sure they will have more coming. So that is that on that. I'm really excited about what's coming with this line, you guys. As I'm looking at them, I'm seeing a standard that I haven't been seeing recently, so I'm looking forward to having some really positive reviews, having some really good notes, and having an amazing Build-A-Fig when I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. I've had such an awesome little surge on my channel. I'm really appreciative of all of your comments, of all of your likes, of all of your suggestions, your criticisms. I'm doing everything that I can to make as many videos as possible and have them be videos that you can enjoy and that you can maybe find something you like from. So thanks for being here. Thanks for watching today. I'll be back the day after tomorrow, which is Saturday, my birthday, to talk to you about the next figure in this line. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Have a great day. Bye.